What's up guys, H&H Vapor back yet with another atomizer, and we're gonna do a quick review and a quick build. Okay, you guys know the videos I do, I like my tanks, I do like atomizers, don't get me wrong, I do love my drippers, but I use tanks, so when a good tank comes around, I definitely gotta do a build, a review, and I definitely try to push them also, because good thing is a good thing. So once I tried this, it's a Squape Reloaded. Once I tried one of them, I had to share this one with the world, because this thing is okay. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick look at it, and then we're going to build it. Alright, so let's go ahead and start undressing her. Well, it comes in a box, which is like this, Squape Reloaded on it. Okay, professional vaping, blah blah blah. You guys, like, if you're looking for numbers, the stats and stuff like that, I will not do how much millimeters and all that stuff. I will show you how to take, you know what I mean, quick, simple build. But I do want to take a quick look at the box. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there that did the video reviews on them already, and you're more than welcome to watch them, but you know, this is for my customers and for everybody that don't mind watching me. So let's go ahead and look at her. So Squape Reloaded comes in the box, made by hold on, by Statcom, I think. Yep, Statcom. And well, this actually a clone, but it's a pretty good one. So comes in a box like the original would. So we're gonna keep on dressing. We'll take the sleeve off, and you get the box underneath. It looks like this by Statcom. Blah blah blah, all that stuff. And inside is the prize. All right. We have here is Squape Reloaded. All right. It comes with a little accessory bag. Alright, accessory, we'll take a look at the accessory bag in 1 second. I just want to finish showing you what's inside the box. Alright, so move the box out of the way. Alright, so we have here is a Squape Reloaded. Okay, it has a nice engraving, nice deep engraving on the front of S and a Q, I guess for Statcom. So the air holes, what's nice about the new Reloaded Squapes is the airflow control. Okay, it has nice, let me get it off so I can show it to you easier. Okay, what it has is, where are the rings at? Okay, see different size holes. So all you do, it all being held by this little ball right here. So all you gotta do, it kind of clicks in each hole. So like once you set the air hole, you will not, you know what I mean, switch in your pants or something like this. So if you can hear the clicks. And here's this is the largest one, is right here. Hold on. That's the next one. That's the next one. And honestly, I've been using one for about a week, and I got it down to about a third hole, and you're still able to take long hits all the way down to the third hole. I mean, these two is pretty much like a K-Fun. If you ever experienced a K-Fun, the smallest two would be like that, but still, I would say it's even airier than a K-Fun. Alright, but these three holes, the largest three, are good enough for a long hit, guys. Alright, so let's put it aside and let's take a look at our accessory bag. Alright, in the accessory bag, they, no, the originals do. Some clones, I came to find out, do not come with 3 different decks. The original does come with the deck. It comes with a W deck. One second, I'm sorry. It comes with a W deck, which is, it's called the wide deck. So it takes, as you can see, the canal is a little bit wider. Alright, and you see the W on it. It says the W. Okay, that's one deck. Another deck is called, gosh darn it, I apologize about that. Okay, so the other one, it has a C on it. I can't remember. I think it's for curved or centered. I'm not really sure, but you know, it's a little bit skinnier canal, and inside is just trying to get a good picture. See how it's just a cut off. Okay, you get the screws, some extra O-rings. Let me get it closer so you can see it a little bit closer. Alright, so you get the screws and you get the Allen wrench, and I will explain what you need this wrench for in a second. Alright, so let's slide this aside. We're still gonna need it. We'll get back to it. We might need that, so let's get back. Let's get back to our atomizer. Let's go ahead and take it apart and see what's in there. Alright, now it's easier to unscrew the bottom part. All you gotta do is just take the airflow control ring off, put it aside, and all you gotta do is just screw it off. The knurl part, this part is what you want to screw, so bam. Okay, so the top part is, trying to get it so you guys can see better. It's inside is the top chimney, okay? The chimney that goes on top of the deck. 1 second, let me try to get it where you could see it. Alright. See, there's a chimney inside of it, okay? I'm trying to get it better in the light. 1 second, let me get a little screwdriver so I can point it to it. Alright, as you can see, this is the chimney, okay? And you see there's a little slot where the screwdriver is sitting. That's where you want to put the juice. So this is the chimney. It always stays in there, okay? This is what this Allen wrench is for. I'll show you right now. Sorry about that. Okay, this is for the Allen wrenches for it, and all you got to do is stick it in there, and it doesn't take any effort at all. You just unscrew it. Okay, and I'll show you. You do not need to do this every time you fill it or anything. This is just done when you want to clean the tank, stuff like that. You want to take it apart, okay? So all it is a chimney like this. It's made from non-conductive metal, just like all the decks are. It's made from non-conductive metal. So, you know, this what it looks like. It goes in, and that's the only thing you need the Allen wrench for, okay? So let's go ahead and put it back in there. We will not need that. Alright. Alright, so put this aside, and let me go ahead and show you right here the deck, the third deck that was in there, which is the S deck. Hold on, let me bring the camera up a little bit closer. And this is the S deck, okay? And see, this is the skinniest canals that you will get, you know. And the coil is, you could put pretty much the same on all three. It's the size of the wick, the size of the cotton. You see it? So each one is going to be different size. Okay, why? This is not for cotton. For cotton, they recommend the W deck, which is this one. And it is the widest deck they have. Why this one is recommended, I will show you. Why I like it is because you could put a macro coil in here, which is more area of a coil, more flavor, more vapor. This tank is good for variable mods better, because it's recommended to build it over an ohm, you know what I mean? So you will get a good vape. If you put, I mean, of course it will work just fine on a mechanical mod, but if you have a variable mod, this is the best for that. Okay, so let's go ahead. Like I was saying, I like to put W deck in my Squapes because you could put a bigger coil in here. You can see you could put a thicker screwdriver in there. You see it? And this is the easiest build, the easiest atomizer to build on is a Squape Reloaded. So let's go ahead and switch the decks real quick. Okay, so what you do is usually the screws, let me back up a little bit so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing here. Usually there would be screws in here. That's what holds the deck down, okay? And as you look at the other deck, the one that's out, do you see the ridges? These ridges right here is what holds it down inside the base of the atomizer, okay? So you would take the screws out, okay, and you're just supposed to lift the thing right out of there, okay? Sometimes they are a little bit harder to get, alright? Sometimes, let me bring it down, but a lot of the times it depends, like I said, depends what clone you get and stuff like that. But most of the time they should come up, you know what I mean? Like the one where I have problems, I use tools like this. This is a hose twister and stuff like that, like for the car repairs and stuff. So all you gotta do is just kind of grab it, then it comes right up. But you know, like I said, you could use anything you want, just be careful, do not mess it up. So we take the S deck off, we're gonna bring our W deck, and all we're gonna do is slide her on there. Alright, and let's kind of push her down, make sure she is in there. Alright, then we're gonna take our 2 screws that it came with. Let's make sure it's sitting flat down, and we're gonna stick the screws in there. That's one. Okay, and that's number 2. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little coil jig and I'm going to stick her on it. It's going to be our base of operations here. Alright, so what we got here is a new W deck with the screws ready to roll, a little open. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and build her. So let's get our supplies, let's get our wire cutters, your wire, coils, whatever you need, and let's get to it. So what I did here, I pre-rolled the coil. Alright, let me back up so you guys can see it. So let me first of all, before we do it, let me explain to you why we put the W deck on there. All right, so what we want to do is, why the W deck is good is so we can use more cotton, so you will hold more juice, and the coil can, you know, more flavor because you more area of the coil, so everything is bigger due to the wide deck. So what I did is, this is a regular screwdriver. If we're building coils here, we all have these sets, right? Okay, so we take a thicker one, like 2.5 millimeter, 3 millimeter one, depends which whatever is more comfortable for you. Just get the ones that fill in. Do you see how it fills out? Let me show you a little bit closer so you can understand it. Get the screwdriver that fills out the whole canal better, you know what I mean? So when we install the coil, it'll be a lot easier to work with. So here's the coil. Okay, let me stop so it shows you better. You see what I did? I just wrote this, called the macro coil. A macro coil means it's a little bit wider diameter than a regular micro coil. Micro coil is they a little bit small in diameter. They thinner and a little bit tighter and easier to work with. Macro coil, this is the original coil before all that micro shit came out, all that fancy stuff. People were using regular macro coils or regular twist around the silica. So this is a perfect atomizer because you change decks. It's a perfect atomizer to use a macro coil, and macro coils are really good for vaping, as you will come to find out if you get one of these atomizers and build it like this. Alright, so all you gotta do is just make sure the leads are facing out. You see how they facing opposite each other? Okay, so all you're gonna do, kind of turn it around so it'd be easier for you. One second, let me line it up. Easier like that, and kind of just lay the coil. Let me move it over. Lay the coil right in the middle. Do you see that? It's laying right in the middle. Let me see, so I'll show you a little bit better. We just want to lay it right there, so it's make sure it's not touching the deck. Of course, I mean, once you tighten it down, we don't want it touching the deck. We don't want, you know, it's got to be straight in the center of that air hole, because the air hole is right beneath it, and that's what cools it down, and what gets the air in there is right under the coil. So you want to position the coil right on top. You see it like this? All right. So all you want to do is kind of, let me get it for you. Kind of just twist kind of halfway, hold it down, okay. So this is, you see it, I just okay, all I did was twist, half a twist around the screw, and just tighten it down. So, and the other one, see how the other one is positioned just right next to the screw, so all you got to do is just kind of half wrap it around and tighten it down. This is the easiest deck to build. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the second screw. Just turn it around, get that little half rep going. Hold it down with your finger. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Hold it down with your finger and tighten it down. Oops. Okay, so let's move it out of the way so I can show you how she looks. Okay, so let me bring her up a little bit closer. Alright, okay, so that's what she's supposed to look like, and let's just move that screwdriver out of there. Obviously you want to make sure, not like me, you want to make sure your screwdriver will come out. So if you have something to use that's better than, come on you son of a bitch. Sorry about that, guys. One second, let me get the screwdriver out of there. So I went ahead and removed the screwdriver. So once we remove the screwdriver, that's what we have left over. Okay, is the coil with the leads. So you want to just twist off the lead one, and twist off lead. Of course, if you see the coil is moving when you're twisting the leads off, that's why you want to twist the leads. This way you know if it's tight or not. I just twisted the lead and my coil moved. You see it? It's not tight. Alright, so let's go ahead and twist it off. Okay, so this is what we end up with. Coil right in the middle. Okay, do you notice how I didn't burn the candle before? Well, you didn't notice, but I'm going to tell you, I do not burn the candle before I twist the coil. I do all that stuff once it's on the mod. So now is when we want to put it on our power source, and so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I got it on the power source. Let me back it up a little bit. Oops, sorry, wrong way. So what I got it on my AR, copper AR clone. I love these things. They are a beast anyways, by the way. I have them in stock. Holla at me. Let me give myself a shout out while we're doing this. You can find my link right below this video, and what I got pretty much every atomizer known to man. And if you buy an atomizer from me, they will come pre-built. You can check my workout on my page. Just go through the photo gallery, you will be able to see some of my work. So I do know what I'm doing sometimes. Okay, so let's go ahead, and once we get it on the power source, let's go ahead and try to fire it, and this is what we're going to do. So what you want to do at first, you don't want to straight up push the button and let it, you know what I mean, fire. You want to kind of pump it a little by little and see, you know what I mean, let it come in, because the first is going to burn a little crazy because you got to burn off all the outside coating that it has on it, so you will burn off the wall stuff. Alright, so now it's pretty much all of it got hot. That means, but you see it's not burning properly. Proper coil burn is from inside out. Okay, so now is what we want to play. Okay, play with it. These, if you're building coils, invest in ceramic tips. I'm telling you some good stuff, because this is the only tips that you can actually touch the coils while firing at the same time, and that's the best way to get the coil straight. Alright, so let's go ahead and play with it. Get comfortable here. So kind of while you're firing it, give it a little tiny squeeze. Alright, so what do you want to do by squeezing it? You want the coil to light inside out, man. Also, let me get this going, and once you play with it a little bit, so look at this, watch it. It has to, let me close it up so you can see how it starts from inside and out. You see it, how it started up? This is going to be a nice OHMS. You see it's light from the inside out. Alright, so what we were with this coil, with the macro coil, you will always go with towards higher ohmage, definitely over an ohm. So let's go ahead and put it on the ohm meter and see what she gave us. Alright, so let's go ahead and put it on the ohm meter and see what she gives us. So with this one we got 1.7 ohm. Okay, this one is a little bit higher ohms because I'm making a bigger coil. Somebody actually asked me for closer to a 2 ohm, but 1.7, which is perfect. So with this 1.7, let me see how many reps we have. 1 second. This is 10 rep coil, so 1.7 is 10 reps. So if you wanted about 1.4, 1.5, like it's recommended, like what I would recommend, do 28 gauge, about 8 reps. 8 reps will give you a good 1.4, 1.5 ohms. This is 10 reps. 10 reps of 28 gauge on a 2mm screwdriver gives you 1.7. All right, so that's why it took a minute to ramp up when I put it on the power source. Alright, so I mean, let's keep it on here. Might as well, so let's get a wicking. Let's get a wick, then get a puffing. Alright, so what we want to do is go ahead and wick it with Japanese cotton. This is a regular pad of kojando. Alright, so what I do is, because this is a macro coil, on the usual atomizer will split it right in half and then cut it, you know, cut the strips out of this. Because this is a macro coil and it's a little bit thinner, so what I do, instead of taking half off, I take just a quarter of it and leave about 3/4 on there of a pad. You see how this thick, so we're keeping the thick piece, and we want to go ahead and about 2 millimeters or so, about 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch maybe, but a little bit. You want to cut it a little bit thicker than usual micro coil. You see how wider this is, so it's kind of folded in. When you put it through the coil, it's going to get folded in half. So let's go ahead and put it through the coil. Okay, got it. Let me bring it up closer so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Alright, where's my tweezers? Let's pull it out of here. Dang it. I promise I'm not on alcohol. I know my hands are shaking. Alright, so kind of pull it through. Like I said again, this is a macro coil, so it's really easy to work with, even with that thick cotton. But this is why we wanted the thick cotton. Let me show you so you can understand. You see that? Remember that thick, wide canal? We want to have enough cotton for it to fill it in. You see it? You fill it in, and we want to chop it at about, give it a little extra room, so about yay here and yay here. All right, oops, sorry, and kind of work it in here. So let me show you the final result. This is the final result. This is the top, this is the side. You see the thickness of the coil? It fills in the whole thing. Okay, so because of the macro coil, because of the amount of cotton we have to use to fill that macro coil with cotton, this is what we got. That cotton serves all the, you know what I mean, this is barely will get any dry hits, because that cotton will be full of juice 24/7. It'll take about 1 milligram just to fill that with juice. So here's what we do. It's how to fill it. Let me bag this up. Bag this up. We want to take juice. 1 second. We take the needle full of juice, and you want to put it right on the side of that chimney. Let me get it so you can see it better in the light. You remember that chimney that we took out? You want to get it in between the wall and that chimney. I apologize about the lighting, that it's not sufficient enough for you to see inside of there. But you see, this is the chimney and that's the wall. You want to use either needle nose or syringes to fill it. So you want to fill it all the way to the edge. You don't want it to overfill and to go inside, because it will go in your mouth. So we're filling it all the way until you see the juice creeping up on the side. All right. So what we do, once we fill it, the base will be off. We keep the tank like this, and all we do is just bring this out and screw her on. Okay, there's no special way to screw her on, to position the cotton, nothing. You just stick it in and it positions itself. Stick that on there, put our airflow control ring on, set your desired hole, put it on power source, and let's vapor. So let's see how she does. Let me fill her up and let's see what she do. Alright guys, so I got her on the power source and we're gonna give her a try. I have her on my ZNA 30 by Amon. Alright, what I have it on with a vanilla tube, my vanilla Mac mod. They fit instead of the ZNA, so I got her pimped out with the vanilla tube. Check it out, the vanilla tube, but ZNA buddy brains. Bottom is vanilla also, but you know, I have a rigged up. Alright, so what I got here, I got the Squape at, as you can see, our 1.7 ohms, and I got her at 4.5 volts. Let me say this, these are great that you can take them up. I took this one up all the way to 4.7 before I start getting little burnt hits. Alright, so this one is perfect, you know what I mean. I've got her going at my sweet spot as 4.5 and she is perfect. I'm going to show you why I think she's perfect. Okay, remember, single coil, so let's see how she vapes. That's what I was talking about when I said I want to do a macro coil on this, because of this, because you could turn her up, and let's see what she do again. Like I said, man, this is my new atomizer, and you guys know I don't do bullshit tanks. When I do a video, I do the tank that's worth doing a video on. Like I said again, 4.5 volts, and she is kicking ass. Once that Squape reloaded, if you ain't got one yet, go ahead and get it. I do have them in stock. Link is on the bottom. Thank you for watching, and I hope it works out for you like it did for me. Thank you, and goodbye.